I was like neck deep in organizing and doing poetry, and the Barakas, Amiri and Amina Baraka, have put my name in this list to go to Cuba, to Havana for a conference. And the group I went with was, and I just told this to someone the other day, was Newark Mayor Ross Baraka was in my group, Dominican writer Juno Diaz, New York legend Hector Lopez Rivera, well, Hector for the Weather Poets, and two young women. And that was the first year Che got his bones back to Cuba. So I spent time in Havana, I spent time in Santa Clara, and I spent time in Cienfuegos. And you know, that changed a lot. My eventual relationship with another city came out of that trip also. And you know, you can change your ideology, but you know where your roots are based in. And everything on this wall is based on my ideology. And I'm gonna read a couple more. This is for all the Puerto Ricans in the house. This is called "Home is the Flower of the Land," and I wrote it after an essay I read from a writer from the 40s when he talked about Puerto Rico, and that, if I can remember correctly, it was basically Puerto Rico has had a predetermined relationship with colonialism because of the size of the island. Right. And that if the island was a bigger, like if Puerto Rico was the size of Cuba, we wouldn't have the same exact historical timeline. So this is because when you think about especially in the late 1900s, all the people that were coming out that were these brilliant forward thinkers, and that they had to fight people. It's like when Harriet Tubman said she would have freed more slaves than they have freed themselves. I think the early Puerto Rican intellectuals like Betances and Hostos and Albizu, if they would have had more people who understood what was going on, if the island was bigger, if they had more imagination to what freedom looked like, they would have been able to do more things. This is called "Home is the Flower of the Land." Tierra is the first word the island teaches us. The wind is our navigator through this land of the valley and Lord. The coast are crystalline cobalt blue, and we give all the hurricanes names. These pueblos of deserts and jungles open the roads to the edge of history. We are measured in size and location, harmonized in a minor key. We carry Exodus on our backs. Our blood is a lineage of café y caña. We built columns of smoke to obscure the clarity of just gorgeous skies. 78 prophecies from end to end, from faro to faro. We erected these billboards of foreign products, of gasoline, electric lines, cover the island like sheet music. The city's technical progress has invaded the countryside. We torture the muscles of these mountains. These small towns are being reconstructed, transformed by irrigation, radio waves, and smartphones. We increase the speed of development on our backs and legs. Tomorrow seems like a frightening place of radioactive beaches, plastic forests, towns of hydraulic energy, neon mountainsides. The exploding superpopulation hasn't culturally developed the next generation. We have to defend the island from the ivory statues that represent an oppressive future. We cannot assure ourselves the air we always breathe will be free. We cannot assure that these houses of ours will always belong to us and not to a bank of leeches. The geographic position of our land has determined the course of our history. We are forced collective personality, casualties of imperialism, fastened in between two Americas. We lack volume in ports. Our island can be seen in 2 days. Tourism is a mirrored ball and chain, empty shells of former glory, a narrow house, cramped by plains and valleys. The immediate expansion of our landscape is a traumatic result due to an invasion. If we stretch our bodies far enough, we can touch the four corners. Our history would have been different if the land was different. Our heroes and fighters who did not fit in, who fled and died in foreign lands, may have been treated different because they would have been had more space to create geological positionings, invigorating climates, biological constitution, imperial landscapes. We are trapped in a perpetual cycle of self-destruction, operating on a collective psychosis. We were once wood, pasture, swamp, untapped potential. Now we're a paradise in a schizophrenic conundrum divided by invisible titles of state and independence. We are jibaros with satellite dishes, farmers that carry computers, fast food, fast highways, corporate tools, monopolizing landlords. Our hearts set in the lap of rediscovery. Our hands balance the conflict and cooperation. Home is the flower of the land. Caribbean and Atlantic picturesque, our expression is coupled with the anguish of yearning for freedom. Our memories are made of wood, metal, history, music, poetry, folklore, and tradition. This country has been a long fight and search for self-defining roles. The coasts are crystalline cobalt blue. We give all the hurricanes names. The wind is our navigator through this land of the valiant Lord. Libertad is the first word we taught ourselves. Tierra is the first word the island teaches us. Thank you. Please support the vendors. Please support your bartender. She's a Giants fan. I'll let her rock on that. It was for all the politicians in Puerto Rico. It's for every politician. I don't really know a good politician. I'm sorry. I don't really know a good politician. If you know one, cool. Let's see how long they last. I wrote this during the Ricky era in Puerto Rico, but every governor Puerto Rico's ever had is shit. Every single one. Every politician that represents Puerto Rico is shit. So this is for them. It's called the Top of the Morro. Today we celebrate the death of the past that has haunted us since the very beginning. We mourn the living and wash our hands of all the names that have tried to destroy us. The ventriloquist is on stage and we don't care about a puppet government. Politicians, governors, presidents, because we can see the strings. The laws they pass rhyme with eradication, annihilation, and extinction. It tastes like a rotten apple. These money-grubbing bastards are so scared of being bankrupt. Yet they owe billions to other countries. Say we owe billions to them, they're delusional. Their heart is weak. Their vision of the future is bleak like an unnamed catastrophe that has scourged the island to a burnout cinder inhabited by the corpses of dead corporations. Our sky is shrouded by toxic dust particles. A gold coin is placed on our tongues. We hold oil in our cheeks. We light candles for the people who never come back from war. The puppet government wears wood dentures. Poison the water we drink. Chemically create the food we eat. Sharpen the silver spoon, pour wine into the skulls of dead monarchs, and they stand there, hideous and forsaken. Think of us as cattle, rattle, profit, loss, consumer. We are not here for the slaughter. Repeat after me. We are not here for the slaughter.
We are not here for the slaughter.
One more time.
We are not here for the slaughter.
So when facing down the barrel of a gun, hope they're a bad shot. Hope they're not just following orders. Hope you look like their child. Hope they had an amazing day. Hope they realize you're not the person they're looking for. Hope they know this is not the old Wild West. Hope God intervenes even though you're agnostic or atheist. Hope they love your luxurious hair. Hope you're not holding a wallet. Hope you're not holding a water pistol. Hope you don't have candy in your hand. Hope you don't get stopped at a traffic light. Hope they don't have fear on their breath. Hope they don't think you're a terrorist. Hope they don't think you're a communist. Hope they don't think you're an independentista. Hope they have some humanity left in their trigger finger. Hope you wake up from this alive. At the time of El Morro, you can see the politicians walking around smelling like corruption and massacre. They hold bone marrow in their pockets, bob before their own skeletons, eat the bark of dead cherry trees, take a casual walk in the cemetery, crushing the bones of dead nationalistas. Their mouths full of declarations smell like vomit, carry blood in their pockets, brush their teeth with scalpels, watch the closed circuit destruction of Palestine, Chicago, Baltimore, Vieques, they laugh with their death tolls, eat their own shit to survive, sacrifice babies for immortality, destroy the dignity of the poor, paint their portraits with maggots, lay their bodies on dead goats waiting to be resurrected so when the stock market crashes again, they can sink their teeth into everything, everywhere, and everyone. At the top of El Morro, we wash our hands of their existence, we wash our hands of their name, and we walk into the ocean and bathe ourselves in freedom. Thank you very much. I got books still, yada yada yada. Follow me on Instagram, you know, it's always nice. Yeah, come check a book out. And I'll get back to our gracious host.